Good morning. I hope you're very well. In my attempt to find creative and new ways to use the block editor, the Gutenberg Block Editor by WordPress, I invented or came across this really cool effect, which I'm calling the magic text effect. And here's an example of it here. So as I scroll down this page, can you see how this text just magically appears from nowhere? It's a really cool and simple effect to do just using the cover block that comes with the block editor. I think it's a really great alternative to using sliders that slow down your websites, and people aren't really going to sit there and watch them scroll across. So I'm going to show you how to do it. It'll only take you about 10 minutes, but I think once you understand you can do it, you can use it in lots of creative ways. So here we go. Right, here we go. This is how you achieve that lovely magic text effect. So the first thing you're going to need is some nice images. Now you can also use your own images. If you don't have your own images, then I recommend Unsplash. It's a free photo library, and there's thousands of beautiful images here. So just go and choose an image. I'm choosing a lake. There's the one I actually chose for this demo, and you see you can just download it for free, and they're royalty free, so there's no copyright on them. So you can use them wherever you like. So that's the first step, get your images. Then you need to add your text to your image. Now how you do this is going to depend somewhat on what operating system you're working on. So if you're on a Mac, you could use, or PC, you could use something like Photoshop. I use Pixelmator. I'm a big fan of Pixelmator for a lot of my graphic work, just because it's like a friendly Photoshop essentially. It's not available on the PC though, so if they're on the PC, you'll have to find something else. But then all you have to do is essentially add your text. So I'm just going to add this text blocks here, and obviously you can choose whatever text you like here, and you just add your text into your photo. Sorry, the other thing I should say is you're going to have two versions of this photo. You're going to have a version without the text, so you want to save that first, and then a version with the text. So you just add your text in like this. And then with Pixelmator, it's very simple just to add a reflection like that, and you can play around with how the reflection looks. I just think a reflection looks great if you're using a lake shot, that's all. And then save that off. So now you've got two photos essentially. You have your photo without the text, like here, saved to your computer, and then you have your photo with your text. And obviously I'm using text in mind, but you could use different images or different elements within here. It's really up to you. So that's the first thing. Get those two images, and then you want to upload those into your media library in your WordPress site. That's the first bit. The next thing I'm going to show you is how you then create that lovely magic text effect, which is very simple. Right, here we go. So all I'm going to do to start with is add the cover block. That's the key block that we're going to use to create this lovely effect. So we're not using any plugins whatsoever with this. So I'm just going to search for the cover block, which is here. It's a standard block, and I'm just going to drag it into this page here. Then I'm going to add my first background image from my media library. Now this is going to be the image without the text. So just find the one without the text, which for me is there. And I'm just going to pop that into my page like so. Now, what I did on the original one here, can you see how I've got this text here? The way I actually did that, and I'm also going to show you how I created this lovely box behind it that you can see through, which kind of is a really cool effect as well. So I'll show you how I did that as well. But all I did within here, I added the columns block, because you can add blocks within the cover block. It's a container block. And then over here on the left, I just added some stuff. So that's my essentially that's my text. The other things I did here with this cover block, I think in the original one I made it full width probably. Is there anything else I did to it? Yeah, and I just changed the height. So you want to change the height a bit as well. You can play with this, but just by dragging that up and down. And now obviously you could put text wherever you like here. But that's my first image. And then I need to add my second image. Now the best way to do this, just so you keep the same sizes and proportions, is just to duplicate the first one. Here we go. So that's now duplicated. So now I've got two essentially the same. But what I need to do here is replace the image on the second one, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to open my media library, and I'm going to choose my image with my text on. And that's my text. Now the critical bit here is you have to make these fixed parallax. This is how you get that text to appear. So you make the first one fixed parallax. So you just click on the cover block and you'll see over here on the right, there's this option here to select fix background. That's what we're talking about here. We're fixing the background, which gives us that nice parallax effect. If you ever struggle to select the cover block top level, then these 3 lines at the top here are going to be very, very helpful for you. Here you can actually see the hierarchy of the blocks, and because the cover block is a container block, which means you can put more than one block within it, that's really helpful sometimes. So it just helps you choose the the right level to see the options over here on the right, because if I click into this block, the options will change over here. So you have to make sure you're selecting the cover block. So that's the first one. I need to do exactly the same thing for the second one. I'm just going to set that as fixed background, and we should be there now. So you see it? You can actually see it in the preview. So that as I scroll up and down here, we can see this text just magically appearing, which is so cool. So let me just publish that so we can go and have a look at it on the live site. So there we go. There's my text, and you can see how that just appears here. Now at the moment I've got this text duplicated, so I probably just want to jump into there and just delete this text here. So essentially I've just got the headline. In fact, what I've done there is deleted the whole block. So let's just go back, put that back. So I'm just going to remove that text like so. And there we go. There's my beautiful looking magic text effect. I just think it's such a cool effect. It just appears from nowhere. Next up, I'm going to show you actually as a bonus how you can create this lovely background box that you can see through, because that's a really common request I get. When I'm using the cover block, I like to have make the text pop a bit more and to add this sort of background color to it, but also see the image behind it. So you have this, it's not completely opaque. So it's we're going to need a little bit of CSS to do this, but it's very simple. And I will actually put the code or a link to the code that you can do this on your own sites. It's incredibly simple though. So the first thing you need to do is go into the edit screen, and you just need to, if you're using columns here, you just need to make sure you're selecting the column block here, because that's actually the element that we're going to target with the CSS. Again, these 3 lines up here will show you the hierarchy or the list of your block. So we don't want to select that, because that's going to basically put a box behind the whole lot. Now, if that's what you want, you could do that, but we just want to target that left-hand column, and it's this one here. So I click on that, and then we look over on the right here, and you'll see in the block customizer panel this advanced option here. So we click into there, and this is what we're after here, additional CSS classes. Now this is something you're going to make up, but I've called this background. That's the class, and you won't see this in the preview. You'll only see it when you view the page. And can you see I've got this lovely background now? Now you will need the code. So the code I'm going to provide a link to. If I go into the customize here, and we've got additional CSS, and all I've done basically, there's my class that I've added, which is background, and then I've added a background color. So if you want to change the color to your own color, you just change this hex value here. And again, there are online tools that you can get where you can find out, you can put in a color and it'll tell you the value there to pop in there. I've added a little bit of padding around here, like so. I've also added a box shadow. Can you see it's got this nice little sort of drop shadow happening around it? So basically, if you want to do this, you just copy that code, and you can change the colors and a few other things. So there you go. That's how you can create a really great looking background for your cover block titles. So thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, then be sure to subscribe to this channel, because I'm producing loads and loads of videos now around the block editor and WordPress. And if you like this video, if you can give it a thumbs up, that'd be fantastic. We make Gutenberg plugins over at poodlepress.com, so especially around WooCommerce these days, we've got some really amazing stuff. So check those out as well. So thank you very much, and I shall see you soon.